Welcome back to the Grove Boys show. Tonight we got Logan, Morgan, and Tony here tonight. No Connor, unfortunately, but hopefully he will be back with us next week. We hope that you're all ready for the MLB edition of the Grove Boys show, because that is, I think, quite literally all there is to talk about. Maybe like one or two other small things across professional sports, but
I was going to say football technically starts tonight with the preseason.
True.
Panthers and Cardinals. What a game.
What a thriller. How exciting. But yeah, I mean, let's start with the obvious news. MLB trade deadline just happened. And Tigers ended up trading not one but two of their best pitchers. So we'll start with the obvious one. Tarek Skubal is now a Los Angeles Dodger.
Didn't he look good in Dodger blue? Didn't he look good in it on Tuesday?
No.
Looks better in the orange and navy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
he did get the loss Tuesday, but he actually pitched really well. He just had no run support. That's kind of been the name of the game for that team lately, is no run support.
That's exactly how he did with the Tigers too. He pitched well, no run support. Although he'd only do 6 innings or 5, but like
yeah, he only did 6 innings with LA.
If you can get 7 out of them, it's a shocker. So have fun with that. You can gas your bullpen all every game you see him go out trotting out on the mound.
That's okay, because LA has actual competent relievers, unlike the Tigers.
Yeah.
We literally have
we
have 2 guys that would be go-to closers on other teams. Edwin Diaz and Tanner Scott. The man with the greatest walkout a pitcher has ever had in baseball, and the dude with the fattest ass I've ever seen a relief pitcher have on the field.
Oh man!
But what are your
we got Kenley Jansen. He's been looking okay recently.
Yeah, Kenley. It's sad to see how not as good he is now as he used to be, but who knows? I mean, you guys are like the king at taking like players from LA. I mean, come on.
Altman, McKinstry, Jansen,
River Ryan, Zaire Hope now.
Yeah,
you guys are just, I don't know, man. I think the Detroit Tigers are actually the biggest fans for the Dodgers. This is the second time you've given us a pitcher on rental in 3 years. That's going to help us win a World Series. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That goes to my theory I was telling before the podcast, though.
Go for it.
So my theory is there's owners that want it. Well, it's not a theory that owners want a salary cap. It's my theory that some owners are trying to make it happen by doing ridiculous things like trading Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers. Or 2 years ago, Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers. I think some of this stuff started 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and now it's coming to a head. What do you guys think? Is it LA's fault that teams will trade them these players, or that the system allows them to do what they do? Is it LA's fault that they do it?
It's the only major sport that doesn't have a salary cap. They're taking advantage of it. I won't fault them. It's annoying, of course, to be a fan of a team that's not willing to spend, but I wouldn't fault them. It's the only big sport that doesn't have a salary cap. Go for it. I'm just upset that we don't spend and wonder why we never win.
Well, look at it this way. For Tigers fans, and let me pull this up. Let me pull up my baseball economics spreadsheet that Logan has seen. It's very thorough. Do you know the average payroll rank, like average position in terms of payroll? For the last 25 years, the World Series champion has averaged.
I think you brought this up, and it's probably 12 out of the 30, or not 30? Yeah,
It's
12 out of
it's
30.
9.2. It's
Okay.
9.2. I
Yeah.
would say in a system like we currently have, any team spending within the top 10 should reasonably have a shot as long as they're run competently. Like, is that fair? Here's my thing. So when the Tigers were amazing, right? Those early 2010s years, right?
They were spending. I know that.
They spent 122 million, and the average that year was 91 million. Let's take the World Series year. They spent 132 million, and the average was 98. And the top payroll was 142 million that year. Like, the Tigers were top 5 in spending. So in the current system, fans of teams that are complaining that, like, it's ridiculous what the Dodgers can do, before you can even address that argument, I think fans need to seriously take a look at the ownership of their own teams and say, but is my team even trying to win? Are the Marlins really trying to win? Are the Pirates really trying to win? The Reds. The Reds are a unique case because the Reds are the only team that's not owned by a billionaire. The guy's net worth is only $400 million, which is kind of wild because in total payroll and taxes, the Dodgers are actually roster is worth more than the owner of the Cincinnati Reds. I would say that's not a fairness issue for Reds fans, though. I would say that's a dude that needs to sell his team, personally. Like, if you can't afford to keep up, like, to stay in the league, you shouldn't, you know. What are your guys' thoughts, though? Like, do you agree with, like, my perspective first? Like, I'm not saying there's not a problem with the system, but I think there's bigger problems with perpetually okay with not being good teams.
So my question is, why is the MLB still the last professional sport to not have a salary cap?
Because it's always had the strongest players union. And that's why I don't think you're going to see a salary cap this year, is because, you know, coming into next year, we're definitely going to have a lockout. Like, fans need to, that is going to happen. There's going to be a lockout come December, was it 1st or 4th? Will we lose games? I don't know. If we start to lose, if we get to February and there's not a deal in place yet, we're going to start losing games. The league wants, the ownership in the league is proposing a max cap and then like a hard cap and a hard floor for teams to spend. Now, Logan and I, when we were talking the other day, I made a point about this because this is a point that someone made to me. And I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's a good argument. I'm saying it made me think a little bit. Do you think a hard cap and floor would actually hurt small market teams?
I don't know. I don't know enough to have an opinion on it, I guess.
Okay.
I think
Logan,
it
do you remember
depends on how much each owner or ownership group is making.
Well, the point that was made to me on why a salary cap and floor could actually hurt small market teams is if you start limiting player salaries, players might just start taking less money to play for the big market teams because they get way more access to brand deals, to like commercial ads, like stuff like that. They get way better access to that stuff than they would playing in Milwaukee or Miami. Not saying that's a great point, but like that is something to think about. You know, I mean, what are your thoughts, more? Like, is that an argument that makes sense?
It does, but I feel like there's still money to be made on like ad deals for a small market team. Like,
Sure.
there's businesses, any MLB city, there's huge businesses there. They'll use those
Mhm.
guys to promote their product. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like,
Sure, anybody playing in Detroit would be doing vehicle ads with
yeah, vehicle
GM.
ads, Little Caesar ads. Like,
Yeah,
if you're in Wisconsin, you'll be doing a Culver's ad, whatever it is. There's money to be made out there. I don't honestly don't think it's that big of a deal.
sure. The argument is there's a lot more money to be made in New York and LA with that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Here's like my solution. you need to make the luxury tax way more aggressive for teams. Because the luxury tax is there to stop runaway spending and allow smaller teams to get, a benefit from a team that's overspending to win. But they have to make that way more aggressive. And I think they also need to have a soft floor where if you want to collect that luxury tax money and that profit sharing, you have to meet that floor. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I know we've talked about this before, how you can't have a floor without a cap. Is it different? Like, is there a differentiation to be made? Because, like, in saying that you can't have a floor without a cap, does that refer strictly to a hard floor? Or does it refer to both a hard floor and a soft floor?
It depends on the person. Um, I mean, the players are saying absolutely no cap at all, and the owners are trying to say absolutely no floor. So that's why I don't think there's going to be a cap or a floor. Is like both have said like that is they'll never cave to that. So really, they have to find a middle ground. Um, but I think both of them being so adamantly no cap or no floor is going to help bring a deal a lot quicker. Um, my thing is you can't have a hard cap. You can't have a hard floor without a hard cap. And you can have a hard cap without a hard floor, but like again, that's never going to happen because players won't cave. So, like I said, you really just have to look at these, this money that teams can spend above that line and deferred money. I mean, the Dodgers have more money in deferment, or have the same amount of money in deferment as the rest of the MLB combined. Like that's a system that needs to get looked at and fixed too. Um, but like you heard the argument this week, have the Dodgers broken baseball? I don't think they have. They still have to go out there and win games. Like Chicago's really hot, Boston's really hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think that I don't think the Dodgers have broken the game like people say. It's just I think the Dodgers have the most money to spend, and then they also are the team that spends their money the smartest, scouts players the best, drafts the best with the least amount of draft capital. Because with the money that they spend, their first round picks get given away to other teams. So, and they've built like a top 3 farm system with that. Like, people can say all they want about Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani. I understand that is 3 guaranteed Hall of Famers that, those are all first ballot guys, right? But what about Tommy Edman? The Cardinals didn't want Tommy Edman, and the Dodgers traded for him, and he's a cornerstone of that team too. He's like Tommy Edman and Max Muncy are 2 players that especially Max Muncy, are 2 players I will have for the rest of my life a massive amount of respect for, because Max Muncy probably could have left LA and been a star on another team and possibly gotten himself on a Hall of Fame track. And he chose to throw that away to be the best player on that team that picked him up on waivers when he was thrown away by the Athletics because they didn't want him. They didn't think he was good enough to play in the league. And he chose to stay with LA. And he keeps taking 1-year deals every year. Just a 1-year deal. Just pay me what my last season was worth. I don't know another franchise that can get players to do that are willing to do that. So there's a lot that goes into LA being good. It's just when they do all that stuff and then they can spend the most money, it looks bad. But, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of casual fans that don't pay attention to that, though. They don't care. They want their team to win. And if there's a team that's winning all the time, the system has to be unfair. The team has to be cheating, like something. It can't just be that, we're watching the greatest run franchise probably in the history of American sports play right now.
Yeah. what I mean.
But yeah, something. I don't know. I still. So why is the players' union so powerful in MLB? I'm
Yeah, that
confused
was
there.
one of my questions. What makes the MLB Players Union more powerful than other players' unions?
I just think because they've never caved. Like they've always been just the strongest group. They've always like the MLB Players Union has always prided itself on like being in agreement and being always do what's best for the players. You know, the league has to cave to the players. It's like anything. If you own a company and your workers go on strike, you're not making money anymore. You're not making money right now. Right? Like it's costing you money. So, you know, eventually you're going to cave, and they've always been like that. They've always stayed strong. They've always had good leadership. You know, and they're always really smart. The players don't directly negotiate with the owners. They get lawyers to do it. You know, like it's not like the players, like the president of the Players Association is going and talking and going, well, you know, I get no, like it's lawyers who know what the players want, and in that moment, the players can't cave. They just do it smart. Like I don't know. You know, it also helps that they've won like these moral battles before, like salary caps in the '90s when the league they wanted to permanently cap it at a certain rate and say we can never approach this salary cap again, yada yada yada, and the players were like, no, no, you're not capping us. Um, yeah, and also like baseball, I think because it's baseball is more of a team sport than a lot of the rest. In the sense that everybody in like basketball, like you can have a star player who takes over a game by himself, right? Like you can have a LeBron, you can have a Kobe, you can have a Jordan, an Isaiah Thomas, whoever, right? You can have a Jeremy Lin who can take over in a game. You know what I mean? Baseball's only seen. I'm not glazing him on here, but baseball's only seen one guy like that with Shohei. But other than that, like it's always been like the pitcher has to be pitching his ass off. The players have to be covering for him when contact's made. And then the guys hitting have to create some action with the bat.
Yep.
You know, and I think that really baseball is the most it could be anybody's day kind of game. Like Mookie Betts has had an abysmal year this year. He went 4 for 5 yesterday. They lost, but he went 4 for 5. Like it was his day. And I really think that drives the players together. And just the nature of baseball, you definitely create a lot more friendship and camaraderie, you know, that dugout environment. But yeah, I think those are the big reasons the players union is a lot stronger than like other players unions. Cause like, look at the other players unions, like they're kind of for show. Like in football, like once a cap got put in, it was like, oh, what's the point of the players union anymore? Because it's about spending anyway, you know. And I think baseball has learned from the mistakes of some of the other leagues, and the players won't cave.
Yeah. Now my other question, and I mean in that whole conversation, another question was brought up, and I feel like we're gonna continue this cycle where you talk and I get another question to bring up later on. But my
That's
next
okay.
question for now,
I'm giving you a word salad anyway, which I apologize
yeah,
for, but
no, you're good. You're good. So you were saying earlier, Tony, how you think that the argument that the Dodgers have broke baseball is ridiculous, essentially. But say they do go out and win the World Series this year rather decisively. Would you say that they've broken baseball then?
no, because look at how weak the American League is this year. I think whoever makes it from the National League is just outright going to whoop whoever's from the American League in the World Series. Because like you have to get through a gauntlet in the National League right now. The Brewers, the Cubs, the Dodgers. You're going to have the Diamondbacks as a wild card team. You can't sleep on them ever. You know, like let's see who's in the playoff picture for the National League right now. Brewers, Braves, Dodgers are division leaders, followed by Cubs, Diamondbacks, and Phillies. That's insane. Those are probably your top five of your top. Yeah, no. Your top 5 teams are probably those 5 teams. 5 of the 6 of those teams. The only one who's not is the Diamondbacks, who I would say is maybe a top 10 team. But like,
I don't know about the Phillies.
The Phillies have been on a tear. They're getting streaky. But they've been on a tear. But like, take it this way. The Phillies and the Diamondbacks have the worst records among the wild cards. They're both 61 and 54. Those guys would be winning the division in the AL Central and the AL West. That's absurd. The American League is just so weak right now. Like,
is it that they're weak, or is it that they're all strong and they're just beating up on each other?
No, it's they're aggressively weak because the American League, a lot of the American League teams are losing on a regular basis to the National League teams as well. It's not that they're all beating up on each other. And what I was alluding to earlier, this year is, by the way, a horrible argument for the idea of a salary cap from the owners. And the whole reason is, let me scroll up here, is you have your division leaders are the Tampa Bay Rays, the Chicago White Sox, and the Houston Astros. Those aren't huge spenders right now. They're not. They're not supposed to be that great this year. The White Sox were supposed to be terrible. Right? And then the Rangers are in a wild card spot, but right behind the Rangers are the Guardians, the Twins, the Orioles, the Tigers, and the Mariners. This is a horrible year to argue for a salary cap because it is small market teams that are killing it. The Brewers and the Brewers have the best record in baseball, and they're the smallest market in the MLB. Like, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. I think baseball's got a system that any team can really make it. Because, like, all you want in baseball, you just want a ticket to the dance at the end of the year. You just want to punch your ticket to October because the playoffs are designed in a way that anything can happen. Look at it last year. The Dodgers had to play in the wild card round against Cincinnati. Now, let's say that first game Cincinnati won. It would have been like, oh my God, the Dodgers are a game away from elimination in the wild card round. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The big thing is that I'm interested in is how is expanding the league gonna affect the playoffs and the divisions and how they're made? Because have you guys heard about that?
Yeah, that's happening. That'll probably happen soon.
Within the next 2 years, they're pretty sure, depending on how things go with the CBA and everything else. Nashville is all but guaranteed, so Nashville will get a team. The other team, people don't know. Salt Lake City's like the front runner right now, but like I kind of like the idea that some people have been throwing out about Mexico City. I think Mexico City would be an awesome place to have a team in.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the fans cheering
a baseball team
for a like I hate Toronto. I hate the Blue Jays. But like that stadium is one of the loudest and coolest during a home game. Because like that's just Canada's national team. It's the only one. And the same thing would happen with Mexico. So I think Mexico City.
If that was the case, they'd have to figure out something different for All-Star game stuff because the American League, you're going to get so many Toronto players because you have all of Canada voting for these bums. Like they'd have to figure something out.
For sure.
It'd just be bad. There'd be no point in watching it because you just have everyone from Mexico voting for their one team and the same for Canada.
No, 100%. But yeah, the big thing, I don't know. My whole thing is if you do that, you have to get rid of divisions, right? Because where do you put the extra teams? You're gonna have some divisions, 2 divisions with 6 teams, and the other all the others will have 5.
You make
Just add 3 on each side.
you make 4 divisions per league. 4 divisions of 4.
You can make 4 divisions per league, but you know what I also like the idea of? Get rid of divisions. American League, National League. Top 6 teams from the American League go to playoffs. Top 6 teams from the National League go to playoffs. There you go. I kind of like that idea.
I don't know. I like having divisions.
Yeah,
It means
I like the
something.
rivalry. Like, okay, so
I'm sure
the
the
biggest
Dodgers would hate that. What are you talking about? They get to go destroy the Rockies every year and inflate their win percentage. Of course, that'd just be stupid. No.
Actually,
And
you know the funny
any other
thing.
year, and any other
You know
year, the White Sox suck, and you go see those guys trotting along like, oh great, we're gonna win this series. It's like,
You know the funny thing? The Dodgers always like play their backups against Colorado and get smoked by them every time they play. Like the Dodgers just like see Colorado and they're like, that's a series just to rest our entire starting roster. But I don't know. I would like that. I mean, if you did that, your top 6 teams in the American League would be Tampa Bay, New York, followed by New York, Boston, Chicago, Houston, and then the Rangers. I
don't
would
know,
kind of like
but
that.
again, I really like the rivalry aspect that comes with divisions. I mean, I think the 2 biggest rivalries in baseball are like the Cubs and the Cardinals and the Yankees and the Red Sox. Both of those are products of divisional alignment.
Well, they're not products of divisional alignment. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox have always been rivals because of proximity. And I don't know why. Let me look it up. I mean, don't get me wrong. Divisions make those rivalries greater. 100%.
Yeah, because the teams see each other more in a season.
Yeah. And then the Cubs and Cardinals are rivals because of geographic proximity. And they're 2 of the oldest teams in the MLB. But, like, who would you say is Detroit's big rival? Does Detroit have one?
Detroit really doesn't have a rival right now because they haven't been relevant for a long time.
No, but in general, who's Detroit Tigers' biggest rival? Let's look at that.
gotta be Cleveland.
Either Cleveland or Chicago, the White Sox. That would be my guess.
The Cleveland Guardians are widely considered their main divisional rival, alongside historic tension with the White Sox and the Yankees. Well, yeah, because back in the Babe Ruth days, the Tigers were the second team, like in the American League. Like they were jockeying for position all the time, like the Ty Cobb days. But I would say, like, Cleveland's biggest rival has to be Cincinnati, though, right? You would think, because it's like top team in Ohio.
No,
I
they're
mean,
not
I
the
call
same-
that
they're
the
not the same
Because
league.
that's AL versus NL.
Yeah, but it's
at that
in
point, you're not
state.
even talking about different divisions. You're talking about different leagues entirely.
Well, yeah, but like the White Sox and the Cubs is a big rivalry, and they're in different leagues. I understand they occupy the same city.
Right. That's going to be different.
Mets-
It's kind of like Yankees versus Mets.
Or Angels versus Dodgers. The Subway Series and the Freeway Series.
Like the thing you got to understand about Cleveland versus Cincinnati and why that's not really a rivalry per se is those 2 cities are on complete opposite ends of Ohio. And Ohio is a pretty large state, like larger than most people would think.
But see, like the thing that makes the Tigers and Cleveland rivals is like just kind of that interstate hate. Like we're probably the 2 states that hate each other the most in the country.
Yeah. Like I
You
can't
know, but
stand
like
Cleveland.
And it's added that they're in the same division. But I don't hate Cincinnati as much as like I hate Cleveland as a as a Tigers fan. You know what I mean? And but take another big rivalry, one of the oldest rivalries in the MLB is San Francisco and the Giants and the Dodgers. Like that's one of the oldest rivalries in the MLB. Now again, that goes back to when it was the New York Giants baseball team and the Brooklyn Dodgers baseball team. But like when LA came over, the Giants, when the Dodgers came over, the Giants followed them to keep that rivalry alive. But I don't know. If you add two teams, that's what? That's 16 teams, so that's 4 divisions of 4 teams. So what would you take? Like, what would you take? Like 4 division leaders and then your next 2 best, or do you expand the playoff a little bit?
I think at that point it would probably just become like NFL rules, essentially. So yeah, you take the best team from each division, and then the next best teams after that.
I like that. And baseball playoffs are so incredible, like those games and like how anything can happen once it starts. I honestly, that's one where it's like, it's not like college football expansion, like playoff expansion, where it's like, really? Like, what are we doing? Like, we're putting in teams now that it's like have no business being in there. You know what I mean?
I do got to say though, Miami and for college football, they had no business, and yet they made it to the national championship game. So
Yes,
I
I would
don't
say
know.
I would say for Miami though, that comes down to the college football playoffs are designed poorly, and the top 4 seeds, only one team has ever won that first round, and that was Indiana this year.
Yeah.
And it's like because you like the other team just played, and this team's coming off like 6 weeks of nothing, 5 weeks of nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of ridiculous. They have to fix it. That's a conversation for like in a couple weeks for sure.
Yeah.
But with baseball, like I wouldn't mind 8 teams making it. Wouldn't it be crazy seeing an 8 seed in baseball just going on a run like any team in baseball can do and popping off and just taking teams out?
Yeah. And I think honestly, baseball, out of all the major sports, baseball probably provides the best opportunity for something like that to happen.
Yeah. Or you can do it this way. This would be fun. You take your 4 division leaders, right? And then you take your next 8 teams, make them play a 1-game series. A 1 game to get into the playoffs. And then you seed from there. What would you think? Or is 1 game too little?
Only if that happened, you would never have a franchise spend any money ever. So
Except for the ones who really want to win.
yeah, it would. I think that would cause way more problems than what we have right now.
Or do you just do an extra 3-game series then? Like
I don't
make
know.
those bottom 4 play a 3-game series, right?
Yeah.
Or those bottom 8 play a 3-game series, and then you have 4 teams advanced. So now you have 8 teams, 3-game series, 5-game series. You know what I mean? Like,
I think expanding playoffs just waters everything down. The regular season's got to matter, so it's got to matter.
yeah.
And the more
True.
you do, it's just like, okay, great, you made the playoffs. It doesn't even mean anything at that point. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, or you can do 8. You can just do 8 teams that make the playoffs.
True.
Yep.
That's always a simple, effective way to go about it. I mean, what you really could do is, honestly, this is me getting into my NBA bag a little bit, but having your top 6 teams from both the NL and AL making it in, and then the 4 teams in each league after that playing a wild card series of 3 games.
Do a bubble series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. By the way, I think that's a concession that players are going to have to make, though, is expanding the playoffs so that franchises can get more money in their pocket. I think that's something that would have to happen with expansion. I think expansion is going to play a big part into the CBA talks, too, because it's coming. It's happening. They're adding teams. And I wouldn't mind if they added more. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, up to 40 teams in the MLB. As long as we're not oversaturating LA and New York more, or Florida, or Texas. You know what I mean? Give Salt Lake a team. Give Portland, Oregon a team. They've wanted a team. You know? Yeah, I don't know. What else?
I don't necessarily know about Portland because again, I'm maybe in the NBA again, I'm gonna reference it again. The Trailblazers are currently talking about possibly relocating to a completely different city. Like not just within the greater Portland area, but like a completely different state. Because they're talking about renovating their current arena and they
All
can't
right.
seem to come to an agreement on that. So I don't know that Portland would necessarily be the best place right now, at least, to put a sports team. But like Salt Lake City, sure, absolutely. I mean, we just saw the introduction of a new one within the
The
NHL.
Mammoth.
Yeah.
The Mammoth. Yeah. So
I
here's
could
some
totally see
teams
that.
here's some teams that it's suggesting. Nashville and Salt Lake City are the clear front runners. Nashville, as far as I have heard, is like happening. Like that is like like nobody's taking that spot. Like they're ready to go. Pretty much. They just need to get the ballpark and everything built. Other teams that are frequently mentioned. Portland, Oregon. It had to be an indoor stadium. Charlotte, North Carolina. Not bad.
Yeah.
Here's one that I would love as a like history of baseball fan. Montreal. Montreal getting a team again would be amazing. Just bring back the Expos.
Yeah.
Yep, that was fun.
If you're investing, another smart city is Sacramento. Because it's already got a baseball fan base that wants a team back. Like they didn't want to well, kind of. It's because of proximity. It's got good potential for a fan base. San Antonio and then Mexico City. I would love Mexico City though. That would be crazy. Can you imagine those crowds? Imagine how that ballpark would look. They'd probably end up having a sick ballpark.
Oh yeah, it'd be
Mhm.
crazy.
For
Now,
sure.
do you guys fun? Would you guys want to play a fun game?
Yep.
What would the team names be?
Oh man.
Okay,
What
so
would the
let's start with Nashville. It's
Here, I'll look
gotta
up
be
some
it's
potential
gotta be
names that are
something
being thrown around.
music related. You could just go with like the Nashville Blues. I mean, I know that's already a team in the NHL, but like we see plenty of team names reused across professional leagues. Um, Salt Lake City is a tricky one because I don't particularly know what Salt Lake City is known for other than the Salt Lake itself. And I don't know how Lakers maybe have another Lakers in professional sports.
The Salt Lake City, our lake is drying up. Let's see, baseball team. So for Nashville, some of the front runners are the Nashville Stars.
Okay.
I kind of like
Yeah,
it. I kind
I've
of
seen
like it.
that.
The Nashville Sounds. See, when I think of sounds like that, I think of like a bay,
Yeah.
like a bay team.
If you're going to do that, I think you have to make it singular. Be the Nashville Sound.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that better.
Then they have the Nashville Tri-Stars because the state flag is like that, 3 stars. Now, let me look
Okay.
up.
Before we get too far into the next team, if I could voice my gripe with the Tri-Stars. You already have the Stars as a candidate for a name, which I kind of figured the flag was where they were getting that Stars name from anyway. So Tri-Stars to me just seems like they're doing a bit too much.
Yeah. So for Utah, what are some ideas you guys have? Because Utah's harder, for sure.
Oh man, the Mormons.
I was thinking the same thing.
The Salt Lake City Joseph Smiths.
The Brigham Youngs.
Yeah, the Brigham Youngs. Here's some that they have. The Golden Spikes, because of the Transcontinental Railroad, and it's a play on cleat, baseball cleats, spikes.
Okay.
I didn't even know they're the Beehive State, but the Salt Lake Bees, that one's kind of Salt Lake Hornets. Instead of being the Bees, you can be the Hornets. Trappers, because of old trapping culture out west and everything. They're harder. They're harder. Pioneers would be
I was
one.
thinking Pioneers for Nashville. That's the first push over the Appalachian Mountains. But I don't know.
True.
So
Sorry, was there one more, Tony?
No. Go for it. Go for it.
Out of those options, I personally like the Bees best, just because it does maintain some statehood relevancy.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do with the Hornets, make it sound more intimidating, possibly, but at that point, you're getting away from the source, which is the nickname being the Beehive State. It's not like it's the Hornet State, Golden Spikes. I get where the Spikes comes from, and I wouldn't mind that as a team name. Don't know where the Golden is coming from.
So I looked at Mexico City too, and theirs are kind of cool because they'd be in
A good one.
Spanish.
I got a good one.
For what, Utah or Mexico City?
Yeah, for Utah, it's
What's
or would it be? Would they be named Salt Lake City Cutthroats?
that's
their
one
state
that I.
fish. Their state fish is a cutthroat trout. Imagine your name is Cutthroat.
Leave it to Morgan to flip and know this.
Isn't that crazy though?
For those of you watching, go check out Three Anglers Fishing and Hunting.
The Cutthroats
Okay.
is just, I think that's I don't know, that'd be fun. It's
So
kinda
Mexico,
scary.
dude, Mexico cities are kind of cool because, you got to think they're in Spanish.
Golden Eagles.
So you have the Mexico City Rojos Diablos, the Red Devils. Kind of cool, right? I like the Aztecas. This is another one that's on there. The Aztecas would be kind of cool. What are your thoughts? History guys, along with myself.
I like the Aztecas.
Yeah.
So they could also pick up their NBA G League team's name, the Capitans or Captains.
Yeah.
Here's another one. The Mexico City Eagles, which would just translate to the Mexico City Aguilas. Because, that's Spanish for eagle. I'm like, that's kind of a cool one. Or the Chilangos. So apparently that's a slang term for, a native Mexico City. Someone who's native to Mexico City. I'm like, Chilangos would be kind of cool, too. It's a name that would make you as a fan go, the hell does that name mean? And you'd have to look it up. I
mean, out of those, I don't hate any of them, really.
I know, they're all kind of good.
I like the last two the most. The
Aguilas and the Chilangos.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the Aztecas too.
Yeah, it does provide a good history perspective. So Yeah, I'd like that one as well. Morgan, you got a favorite out of those?
It's I like the Aztecas. That's the best one, in my opinion. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
That's the one. If you gave me the team name and said the Aztecs or the Aztecas, I could be like, oh, Mexico City, like easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I didn't know baseball, I could be like, oh, that team, because like the Aztecs, right?
Yeah.
I've always thought
No.
Mississippi should get a baseball team and just name them the Mississippi Deltas. That would be a sick team name.
But I don't think there's a market in Mississippi.
No, there's not really. So
Like the entire market of the Deep South, I think, primarily resides
it's
with
all
the
football.
Braves.
Well, and it's all
Well,
football anyway
as far
down
as
there.
the baseball market, yeah.
Yeah. That's what makes the Braves like a not small market team. Is like they kind of have a monopoly on a lot of the South. So Mississippi Blues would be another good one if they had a Mississippi one. That would be a good one. Anyway, what's on the docket? We got sidetracked.
What do you think of
Like nothing other than baseball tonight, man?
I know. Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs did agree to a deal with the Lions today. That's good. Did you guys hear about that?
3-year contract? What, 65 million?
A 75 points. It's 75.75. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, he showed up to like practice today because like he's not practicing until that deal's done, right? And which is like fine. Like if honestly, this is one of those ones where I see the guy and I'm like, I kind of get it. Everyone else around him has been getting contracts. JMO, Amon-Ra, Goff, Penei Sewell, like every other pivotal piece is getting contracts. I would kind of also as a player be like, my turn. Like,
Yeah.
when is it my turn? You know?
Like,
It's
he
tough
is the
as a
best.
running back.
He is the best offensive piece on the team.
Yeah. So I get it. I
So-
totally understand. But he showed up and he had his pads on. But he was standing there. He was waiting for the okay to see if his contract was negotiated. And if they okayed it, he was going to jump right into practice. I'm like, all right. And the dude wants to play. This ain't like, you know what I mean? It's just he wants his fair share. So I kind of like that. He made it very drama free too. Like the drama was that it just hadn't been done yet, but there was no like cryptic messages on Twitter or Instagram videos, you know. That team don't need more drama after Terry and Arnold.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, in other NFL news, there is a chance that Aaron Donald returns to the Rams.
If that happens, shoot me. Shoot me. Like,
That would
that's
not be
so
good.
crazy, dude. That's so crazy.
He was seen doing like tryouts at the with the Rams.
No, Sean McVay confirmed he was trying out. He's actively trying to see if he can still physically play.
And I mean, from the footage,
What the
that's
hell?
there, it seems like he can still play.
Dude, anybody could play when you have Myles Garrett also on the line. Like, what are we talking about?
Oh my gosh.
It's like, do you guys know the Biggie Bailey, the guy I've seen on TikTok that I like? Have you seen his football videos? And it's like the quarterback getting chased down. He's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm like, that's every quarterback playing against the Rams this year.
Yeah.
Especially if Aaron Donald comes back. Good God.
I'd imagine just based off of Aaron Donald's character, he would be coming back to the Rams for not much. Like,
yeah.
He would not demand a lot of money.
He was never like a huge, like he was never paid a ton of money.
No. But he would probably come back for like a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be scary.
1 year going to run.
Yeah,
oh.
You got.
Guess what the free game of the day is on MILB?
Oh,
Yeah, in MLB they play a free game every day.
is it
It's
Dodgers?
the Erie Seawolves, which means if you're watching, you get to
Oh,
watch Zaire
Zaire
Hope play
Hope.
with the. Yeah,
I do want to talk about him a little bit because
dude, he's
he's
good.
well, I mean, he's good. I was looking at his stats earlier today, though, since the trade. He's 0 for 7. Which, I mean,
Yeah, like
it's a new team, it's a change of scenery, so you're not going
yeah,
to hit the ground running, you know? But, like, 0 and 7?
he's okay. Um,
But, I mean, arguably a worse performance than that since being traded. Let's talk about Casey Mize for a second. I mean,
why did he already play?
he played the other day,
Yeah, lit up.
might have been last night actually, for the Padres. 8 earned runs.
Hey, that'll happen.
I don't know. I mean, again, you're not going to hit the ground running, but like 8 earned runs as
Yeah, but
a pitcher
he
with
got it.
that level of talent?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
he got
think
it
he
worse
wanted
than
to be traded.
Skubal. He got it. He got it. So Mize got it worse than Skubal because Skubal also like I am not a fan of all the people trashing on Skubal after he gets traded. All of the asshole Detroit fans that are now like he was so fake. He never wanted to stay with us. Like why would he? Like I've seen people online go like, why would he
Yeah.
leave in the middle of a season? It's like he was traded. You
He had no
fucking
say in it.
moron. He had
Yeah.
no say. And if he had any say, it was that he wanted to stay. He didn't even
Yep.
just say, I want to stay. He said, I want to stay and I want the Tigers to be buyers at the deadline. I want to
Yeah.
go all in on this.
I mean, if you're
You
a real
know?
Tigers fan, you know how he performed in his last few games with the Tigers.
He was pitching his ass off to try and convince them to keep him.
Yeah.
He was, yeah. Dude, all the fans that are trashing on him, Ben Bosher from 100.9, that idiot. Like, he's like, oh, you're fake. I don't care. It's like, I don't think he was fake. He was almost in tears in the one interview, like after he got
Yeah.
traded. Like,
He's been in the organization since he was drafted. Same with Mize. They've all just been in Detroit, and it's like I personally just hate the trade deadline because you're uprooting everybody. Like these guys have lives too. They have to move their family too. And
Yeah.
just everything is like, oh my gosh.
well, see, I love the trade deadline in MLB. I think the MLB has the most exciting trade deadline in all of sports
It is
because you
exciting.
see so many flurry of moves. But like also these guys are professional athletes. They sign on to that as a possibility.
Yeah.
Like they know that can happen. I'm not saying it's great or they have to like it when it does, but you know, they sign on for that to happen. But yeah, Detroit, big thing. Let's talk about Max Clark. Huh? Huh?
He's
I
like-
told you.
he's like
I've been
37.
telling you guys. He's legit. He's legit. I honestly think the Tigers and the Dodgers, that is a win-win trade. I think in the long term, I hearken that to kind of the Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff sort of trade of I think one is going to work very, very well in the short term for one team at the very least, and the other one is going to help build the other team into a contender. I mean, what are your thoughts though? Like,
I mean, listen, I love the future of the Tigers right now.
yeah, dude, like
Because
it's exciting as hell.
I know I was ripping on Zaire Hope earlier for his 0-7 performance since joining the Tigers organization. But I have no doubt in my mind that he will get better as he spends more time, with the Sea Wolves, with the Mud Hens, and then eventually once he joins the Tigers, hopefully sometime in the near future.
Fully
Plus,
believe
we
he
got-
will be in the
we got-
rotation next year.
Oh yeah, I think so. Plus, we got a lot of young talent on our roster already. We were just talking about Max Clark. We got Kevin Magano, who is looking incredible.
He's your rookie of the year, without a doubt.
Troy Melton has looked great.
Yeah.
People are saying that Troy Melton should actually get some Cy Young nods for the way he's pitched. I'm like, I kind of agree.
I don't disagree with that.
I kind of agree. He needs some Cy Young nods. So here's what
Dylan
it's got.
Dingler's
It's
still pretty young.
They're all young. They're Green, Dingler. Those are the oldest ones, but they're all under 26, and they're just incredible this year.
and here's the thing. Here's what would be great. If Chris Ilitch, the third richest owner in baseball, wanted to win, he would lock all these guys up now.
Yep.
He would. And he'd say, you know what? Let's lock all these guys up right now. Let's lock these prospects we just traded up for right now with Zaire Hope and River Ryan. Now, River Ryan's unique. He's a 27, 28-year-old prospect because he's had injuries. He's more of a, hey, if he pans out, he pans out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. The big thing they got is Zaire Hope. That's the big key piece to that trade. But if you wanted to, lock it up. And then guess what? When stars go on the free agent market, start trying to sign some stars, but they're not going to be able to do it with salary cap. They're just not. You know, like I don't know. People come.
Tony, we were talking about this at Jake's the other night. It's going to, at least initially, a salary cap would benefit the teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, and all those like big market teams, at least initially, just because you'd have a bunch of players who are getting grandfathered in on their contracts that they have right now.
Yeah, their contracts are going to be grandfathered in 100%.
Yeah,
because they're going to have to. They're going to have to for 10 years have some sort of system that goes in that allows like still teams that have spent a ton of money to remain competitive and then not have like these owners throw away their money. Like that's the other thing with this whole salary cap argument. The players are in agreement, no cap, but not all the owners are. The owners aren't as united as the players. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, let's see. In Double A, Zaire Hope has played 94 games. He's batting .293, 41 extra base hits, 23 home runs. I'll say that again. Of his 41 extra base hits, more than half are home runs.
Nice.
And he's got 18 stolen bases. This guy has 30-30 potential written all over him, which, by the way, is an MVP candidate almost any year.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
He's built like a brick shit house. Like, and guess what? Your outfield is then Riley Green, Max Clark, and Zaire Hope.
Yeah, all of a sudden after having one of the worst outfields.
Like, then guess what? Then McKinstry looks like a whole lot better player to have on your roster and just be the every other game guy. Every game you fill in for this guy and give him a day off or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is the thing. That's where like the fans hating on McKinstry too. Like, listen, I get it. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. I totally understand. But that guy can play anywhere on the field. There is a huge advantage to him giving guys a day off. And you not needing a backup at every single position.
Yep.
Well, honestly, give McKinstry some credit too. He can hit when he needs to hit. We saw it the other night in the first game against the Mariners. He was every time he was up to the plate, he was getting a hit. It seemed like.
Well, he's one of the go-tos for AJ Hinch and clutch moments too. If he's throwing him in, if he's just throwing him in, like. McKinstry's good. McKinstry won't hit when he doesn't need to, but he'll get you the hit if he needs to sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like his batting average will go from like below the Mendoza line to like 300 all of a sudden, 320. Yeah, I'll take a utility player that can do that. That's awesome. Put him at 6-7 in the lineup, 8. You know?
Yeah.
Not bad. Also the fact that like you have a catcher that can bat like above 270, right? Is that what Dingler's hitting? What's Dingler hitting?
Last I looked was 268, but we'll see. It might be up now because he just hit a home run today. He's hit a home run the last 3 days, actually. So it could be up to the 270s.
Okay, he's got a 275 batting average. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take a catcher who can bat 275 in the league because catchers are not supposed to bat well. Like they're just not.
Well, and you know
So
what? Even Dingler's backup, Eduardo Valencia, has been batting exceptionally well.
you know where the advantage is going to come in there? Because like right now, like when you think about the Tigers, you have Valencia, and I think Valencia could be a starter. He could be an everyday guy, right? So what you have Valencia at catcher, you can put Dingler at third.
He's done that. He's done that, son. He's DH'd a lot too.
You could put Dingler at third or DH,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Then you can put because Gleyber's Torres contract is up this year, right?
Yep. He does second base most of the time. That's how you Lee's
Yeah.
been second base since Torres is about. How you Lee's been doing great too.
Arguably
But
is
now
look great too. We got a lot of great
Dude, oh
backups.
my god. They literally just need to trade Baez in the offseason, see if they can trade him for just a couple relievers. Like trade him for a couple relievers. Because then, like, think of it. Catcher's Valencia, third base is Dingler, shortstop's McGonigal. You have Lee at second. And like you can pick a first baseman up, but like Torque is really streaky, but like when all the other guys perform the way that they do you need Torque to be this like super crazy hitting first baseman? Because he's competent defensively. I'll give Torque that. He's very competent defensively, so he makes up for it. And then your outfield, like Tigers fans are insane thinking their franchise is garbage. That team is so close to being a World Series contender. They might already be if their bullpen can get it together before the end of the year because they're only a game back in the wild card, and they're the hottest team of the bunch.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's... And then you got to think, like, if they make the playoffs, are they going to win?
No.
Probably not. Probably not, but if they make the playoffs, the American League is so bad, like, shit, they could make it to the World Series out of nowhere. Like, just the AL is so weak.
I don't think the AL's weak. I really don't.
The AL is absolutely weak. They don't know if Aaron Judge is going to be back this year. Aaron Judge might be out the season. Yeah. So, and the Yankees are a 500 team without Aaron Judge. I'm sorry, I'll take the Tigers right now over the Yankees without Aaron Judge. 110%.
You're missing like the Red Sox and the White Sox and the Tigers are all really good right now.
The Red Sox are peaking too early. That's the thing. They're peaking way too early. The way they're winning and the way they're playing right now is not sustainable. They're on the kind of run you make coming into playoffs, not like 6 to 8 weeks before the playoffs.
Yeah. You think they'll come back down to earth then?
They're gonna. They'll make the playoffs, but they'll come back down to earth come playoff time.
Well, yeah, they'll settle in, of course. I mean, they're on the sort of streak that we barely see in the MLB.
You don't see
By the way, I have to do this because I have to do this to get her off my lap, but to make her weekly like visit to the podcast. Cleo.
Hi, Cleo.
She hears you guys in my headphones and then jumps up on my lap and is like, "What's going on?"
You know, like I think the Red Sox are going to still be a great team. They're not just going to all of a sudden fall apart once this streak falls apart. I mean, it looked like it was starting to fall apart just a couple weeks ago, but they bring it back, and now they've won, I think, 9 of their last 10.
Yep.
They're on like a second streak.
That's a lot of fun.
Which might I remind you, Tony, not that you need reminding, but that included a sweep of your Dodgers. How does that make you feel?
Getting swept by the hottest team in baseball at the time in July. I'm fine. Now here's the thing, MVP argument, because that's heating up in the National League.
Mm-hmm.
With PCA. Because PCA has been one of the hottest players in the league. So let's see.
And I mean, they played each other in this last series. The Cubs and the Dodgers did.
They both played great, so you can't even.
Yeah.
It's not one played like shit. Like PCA played kind of better, but I think like that more goes to how bad the pitching was for the Dodgers in that series. Like in their last 15 games, the Dodgers pitching is averaging like a 6.5 ERA. Like, how much of that was Dodgers pitching versus PCA? Like, give them both the same pitcher, they probably do the same right now.
Well, and let me just say this. What is his last name? Lauer? I'm pretty sure, right? The Dodgers pitcher?
Eric Lauer, yeah.
Yeah. He looked rough.
Believe it or not, that's his first loss since he's played with LA this year. Yeah, Lauer he was 0-5 with Toronto. He is now 6-6 since getting traded to LA. So he won 6 games in a row. Yeah, he had a bad game, but he's got a 4 point. Like, here's the thing. He's got, after getting an ERA in that game, what was his in-game ERA? He allowed 6 runs. And the 4 games before that, he allowed 9 total. Like 3 in 3 games and then 0 in another. And he went like 6 innings in all but one of them. Like, the Dodgers are slumping, which right now, if you honestly are going to have a team slumping and they're in a position like LA, this is the time you want them to slump. It's a good time for them to lose now, focus up, rest, get back into it mid-September, late September, and come into the playoffs hot. So it's kind of the opposite of Boston, you know? Like, you can look at a team like Boston and be like, they can't sustain that forever. And then you can look at a team like LA and you can be like, they can't, that team's not going to play that bad, like much longer. Yeah, Lauer looked bad in that game. He's got a 1.2 whip, which, like, a lot of traffic, but like with an ERA of 4.89, that means like not completely horrible. But you got to remember, like, your pitching for the Dodgers goes Yoshi, not even counting Shohei if he doesn't pitch the rest of the season. You have Yoshi, Snell, Glasnow, Sasaki, Skubal, Robleski, like Sheehan, like Robleski, Sheehan, and Lauer are going to be like middle relievers to keep the starters healthy in the playoffs. Like, if they're up like 6 or 7 runs going into the 6th inning, they're going to be like, hey, Robo, do you want to come out and just pitch the last 3-4 innings of the game? Just coast to the finish? And he'll be like, yep. Like, they're spoiled with pitching right now. Funny thing is the Dodgers pitching has been horrible. I still think they have the lowest ERA in the league.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, so let me see. So they have the split stats. Yeah, so he went 1-5 with Toronto. Lauer went 1-5 with Toronto, 5-1 with LA. His ERA was 6.69. Toronto, and it's 3.72 with LA. That's kind of crazy. Like, when you give a guy a good defense. Now, here's the thing that I want to see. Because this is a way to really look at the best pitchers in the MLB is you got to look at their FIP. That's like one of the big ones. Do you guys know what FIP is?
No idea.
So FIP stands for fielder independent pitching. So it literally only counts what was in the pitcher's hands. So your high strikeout guys are going to have a higher FIP because they're not allowing base runners. They're not, you know what I mean?
Right.
probably gonna be something like Mizorowski, right? Like it'd have to be. Yeah, it's Mizorowski. Like Mizorowski's gonna be your Cy Young winner in the NL. Like that's a foregone conclusion at this point. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Baseball's getting really, really exciting. But it also coincides with the beginning of football, so people kind of forget about baseball for a month, and then playoffs happen. So
True. Now, I will take this opportunity to play devil's advocate again if I could, Tony. So here's the issue. You're talking about how come postseason, the Dodgers can just have guys like Robo pitch right out of the bullpen, essentially.
Mhm.
So is that where the power imbalance comes in? Because not necessarily the starting rotation getting stronger, but now your bullpen is getting a lot stronger to the point where you have literal starting pitchers coming out of the bullpen, which most other teams don't have.
well, most teams do that with a couple pitchers come the playoffs. The advantage is the Dodgers can do that with like 3 or 4 guys.
Exactly.
Sure, but here's the thing. Out of their starting pitchers, because again, I'm not going to count Ohtani because he's hurt. The guys that are moving to those relief positions are guys that have come up through their system. It's not crazy free agents that they signed. It's Robleski. He came up through the system. It's Sheehan. He came up through the system. Lauer they traded for. Like,
True,
you know, it.
but again, the reason those players would be in bullpen positions would be because the Dodgers have brought in guys from other teams.
Hoarding talent.
Yes, but bringing guys in from other teams through free agency versus trades is very different. I think that's very different. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the Tarek Skubal trade. The main reason it wasn't vetoed is because the league also wants to use that as a reason for a salary cap. That's why Manfred never ever talked about vetoing it. That's why that never happened. He never was going to dream of it because Manfred wants a salary cap. But that trade, think of how good that trade helps set up Detroit for the future. You have a guy who's like seen as a possible future MVP candidate and face of the league with Zaire Hope, and 2 guys that are like, hey, high risk, high reward, but like Zaire Hope by himself, I think paid for that trade. Almost. You know what I mean? You're getting rid of a guy whose contract was expiring. You weren't going to keep him anyway. You know? Now, if we didn't have CBA talks and Tarek Skubal had 2 to 3 years left on his contract, then I think Rob Manfred vetoes that trade. But he's also a rental. Are you really going to veto a rental? Let alone a rental pitcher. You know? Like, I understand your dad's argument, but like one thing that, again, needs to be realized, Skubal's a rental. The Tigers got guys that they can keep for years to come. And they'll be cheap. This is again where the system we currently have balances itself out a little bit. The Dodgers do great at developing talent, and they send that talent to other teams for their star players, and then those teams can develop those players into stars. But it's on both sides to make it work.
Right.
So
we don't see that happening because, like you were saying earlier, we have plenty of owners in the league who would rather just develop the talent and then ship it off in hopes of enforcing the salary cap argument.
well, you have teams that they're like, I'll develop the talent, make him a star, have him be a guy that puts asses in seats. Jazz Chisholm Jr. with Miami. That's one of the best examples. That's what Miami fans went to go watch, was Jazz Chisholm Jr. play. And then they're like, we'll trade him to New York for money. Okay. that you're not going to throw back into your roster, and your owner's just going to stick that in his back pocket and go take his wife out to dinner. Bunch of loot. Like, that's stupid. And if I believe it or not, if I'm right, okay, no, I was wrong. He used to be. Okay. Derek Jeter used to be the one in charge of those moves for Miami as part owner. Like a Yankees guy, a Kalamazoo, Michigan legend was a part of that system. Like, dude, I don't know.
That Jazz was moved.
No. So I like I said, I was wrong.
Okay.
But like, he was one of those guys that was doing that in Miami, though. Like, you know, I don't know. I think a cap is the last thing you need to go for, because a cap is, if you go for these other ones, if you say we're going to give this time for the betterment of baseball, we're going to compromise and give this time, right? And here's what we're going to do. No hard cap, no hard floor. We're going to go with the middle of the road thing. Players can get paid as much as the team's willing to pay them, but the teams are going to have to pay more aggressive luxury tax fees. I don't think that's an out of this world idea. I think it's only out of this world if you're so settled on a salary cap that like you can't see any other solution. But then if that system doesn't work, yeah, let's reapproach the salary cap system when the CBA is up again. You know what I mean? But a salary cap is the hardest one, like, to undo once you've done it.
Yep.
So that's why that's another big reason why I'm an anti-cap guy. I think it's the last solution that people would go with. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw me post my story after the Tarek Skubal trade. I posted some rage bait on Snapchat about like, let me see your Tiger tears, you bunch of loser Tigers fans, yada, yada, yada. It was bad. I was mean. I actually love Tigers fans. I'm a Tigers fan myself after the Dodgers. A certain redheaded little bastard we know, though, was texting me all angry about my post. He was like, salary cap. And here's my thing. I don't like the argument that people are making where they say there needs to be a salary cap. Why does there need to be a salary cap? Well, every other league has one. That's a stupid argument. Can we agree? Like, that's just a dumb argument. That's just like, that is basically, I don't like that your team spends more money better than everybody else. So I'm going to make this like the most simple argument against it that I can. Well, every other league has a salary cap. Why shouldn't baseball? When the argument we should be having is, why should baseball have a salary cap?
I don't know.
And I mean, okay, so my question, Tony, is what is the policy on the luxury tax in the MLB right now?
Let me look it up, because I'm not the most familiar with it, but it's clearly not working as well as it should have. I will even say that. How does the luxury tax work in MLB? How about that? Also, here's another thing. Another reason the salary cap won't happen is because then a part of that is the players are going to say the owners need to open up their books and show everyone how much these teams are making, and the owners don't want to do that. They don't. The MLB is the only league where the owners also don't have to say how much profit they made. Well, I'm sorry. You cannot, as owners, say we want a salary cap because we can't handle the runaway spending, and then not show like how much revenue you're making. Because to me, that screams, oh no, we're making good money, but we just want a salary cap so we can make better money. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's a soft spending limit, AAV measurements, a team's competitive balance tax figure uses the average annual value, or AAV, of each player's contract on the 40-man roster. So this would be, take Shohei's 10-year, $700 million contract. His AAV is $70 million a year, even though he only gets paid $2 million a year. Do you know how much I saw he's making in like brand ads and everything right now? He's making $100 million a year minimum on brand deals. I'm like, that guy's going to be a billionaire before he retires.
Absolutely.
Penalty tiers and rates. First time overage. Teams exceeding the base threshold by up to 20 million pay a baseline 20% tax rate on the overage. Repeat offenders tax rates escalate significantly if a team exceeds that threshold in consecutive years, moving to higher percentages like 32 and 62.5% plus, alongside potential drops in the MLB draft order. I like that. I'm okay with that being more aggressive towards the high end. I think you need tiers to it. It needs to be a tiered system.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do really like the main question that I was wondering about that is if it was percentage based or like if there was a set amount.
Oh, it's percentage based. It's percentage, okay. But it's based on how much over that limit I think you're spending. Right. So the Dodgers right now, I think, are spending 100% of what they pay over the luxury tax in tax. Like, I think they've been doing it for so long, they've exceeded it. Like, I'm okay with that system being more aggressive, but you also need to have a floor that teams must meet in terms of payroll in order to even be eligible for that.
Yeah.
Like, if let's say the Dodgers are handing out $10 million a year in luxury tax to each team, which like they're at that number, right? That's a 1-year contract for like a great player, like a good player. Like, but why should the Marlins get that or the Pirates? You know what I mean? Like, it should be like if your next 10 teams were spending below that, like, and then your bottom 10 teams, like in terms of like luxury tax and outside of the luxury tax and everything, because I think we have like 8 or 9 teams spending above the luxury tax. You know, you have the Rangers who are really good at like they'll be above it 1 year and then below it the next, so they don't keep getting those stacking tax rates. But like, can you like the Tigers? Imagine what the Tigers could have done with that money. They would have been able to keep Skubal. Or they would have been able to sign someone else. You know? Yep. Why should the Angels? I'm a firm believer of, I think that the league should be allowed to step in and free Mike Trout of his contract and let him go somewhere else. So that he finally has a chance to win a ring. Because he decided to be loyal to the A's and they have given him nothing. And the owner even came out and said, I don't care about winning. Like, literally said, I don't care about winning. The fans don't care about winning. The fans want a good experience at the ballpark. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, I would possibly trade. I'm not going to say that because that's too inappropriate for the podcast. I really have to start cleaning it up on here. But, like, you know, like, dude, like, I would trade literally, like, if you came up to me, like, as a football fan, right? And you can say this is like some baseball fans, like a Mariners fan would be the equivalent of this, right? I'm a Lions fan. If someone came up to me and said, hey, you got to give me a finger on your right hand. But if you do, the Lions will win the Super Bowl. I'd be like, take the finger. Take the finger right now. Like here. Lop that thing. Like, wouldn't you kind of? As a Lions fan, you'd kind of think about it. You'd be like, I can live without that finger. Like, I can live without a finger. But I don't want to go my
finger.
yeah. Could it be my like right ring finger, the most useless one? Like, I don't know. That system needs to be more aggressive. But like, that system's not a horrible system. Like, I'm okay with teams not being allowed to defer money once they're over. Like, if they're spending over for so many years, they shouldn't be allowed to defer money. And there should be a cap on deferred money, too. I'm okay with a hard cap on deferred money. But, you know.
Yeah.
Who just got signed to a big contract with Detroit? Didn't someone just get a contract?
For the Lions?
The Tigers. Didn't someone just get... Oh, yeah. McGonigal's contract. Take this. The owners don't even want to live by the shit they're preaching with the CBA talks. because they want the maximum length of a contract to be 6 years. But they just signed McGonagall this year to an 8-year contract. Like, what the like? you guys aren't even like living by this system yourself. And the only reason they signed McGonagall now to an 8-year, $150 million contract is so in 3 years, they don't have to give him 3 or 4 times that much. Be smart like that. Do that stuff. Why didn't they do this 2 years ago with Skubal? Why didn't they do this last summer even with Skubal? He wouldn't have been worth as much money as he wanted. He would, like, it's stupid. It's just, these franchises are being run by inept GMs. And right now, you have a team with the best GM, the best farm system, the best scouts, and the most money, all at the same time. I get it. It sucks if you're not a fan of LA. But that doesn't mean the system's broken or baseball's broken. Sorry. You just have a team that is a franchise that is run that good right now.
Let's do our
Power
power.
rankings?
Yeah.
Oh,
wanna hear it.
yeah. Logan, why don't you go first?
Okay. Sure. By the way, Tony, before we get into this very good argument on that, honestly, can we give Tony a round of applause real quick?
Oh, thanks.
Because this man
No,
knows
but like,
his shit.
No, but like that's a valid point. Like if you're an owner, you have to be like, okay, I want players held to 6-year contracts max. You should only be offering your guys 6 years. And if you're gonna offer him a long contract, do what you're doing with McGonagall. Like it's just ridiculous. They need to do the same thing with Clark and all that. Lock those guys up now.
Yeah.
Like that's how the Tigers did. That's how his dad did it. And then his dad was like, "Ooh, let's get Cabrera now." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you get the young talent, and you lock them up young on long-term contracts that are a lot cheaper than they're going to be 2 or 3 years down the road when they're proven, right? And then you go for the big stars. And also, that is literally what LA did, what the Dodgers did. Yeah. They had all that homegrown talent, and then they traded for Mookie. They signed Freddie, and they signed Shohei. Like, I don't know. Sorry. This has basically not been the Grove Voice. It's been the Tony Talks Baseball podcast.
Yeah.
But like,
well, I mean, we knew it was going to be a baseball episode.
Hey, you can argue this. The Tigers did the same thing when they were doing those World Series runs. They were stacked, pitching, hitting. The only thing that was bad was their bullpen, like it always is. But like they had marquee names, amazing players. And they just didn't do it. They didn't make it work. So it's like
you had. Let me see if I can name the team. You had Alex Avila at catcher with Cabrera at first. Your starting pitchers were like Verlander and Scherzer and Porcello, Pfister, and Anibal Sanchez the 2012 year. Yeah. Your second baseman was Ian Kinsler, I believe. Yep. No, right. Not Kinsler. Not in 2012. Not in 2012.
Was it Inge?
No. Brandon Inge was gone by then, but he was third base. Your shortstop that year was Johnny Peralta. Your shortstop No. The 2012 year, your first base was Prince Fielder. Your third base was Cabrera. Johnny Peralta was the shortstop. I think, was it Ramon Santiago might have been the second baseman.
Omar Infante. I looked it up.
Omar Infante. I forget. Santiago was the backup. And then Santiago was like the backup short second baseman and outfielder. And then your outfield was Austin Jackson, Delman Young. Forgetting the third one. Delman Young played left. Austin Jackson played center. Who played right field? When I hear the name, I'm going to get pissed because he went on World Series runs. I think he was in the 2016 World Series with Cleveland. Let me see. Let's see.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah. Andy Dirks.
Dirks was out there, but he wasn't like the everyday guy.
Brendan Bosch.
Bosch wasn't an everyday guy. Oh my God. Really?
I think Bosch and Dirks, they switched every other. for right field.
Maybe.
They were good though. Oh my gosh. Like, ugh. They were all hitting for average. Their defense was electric. It was,
Oh, it was Quentin Berry. Quentin Berry was his career was so sad. He was literally on the come up to be one of the best players in the MLB, and then he took a fucking 102-mile-an-hour pitch right off his mouth. You guys remember that? He looked up and he's like, he's like on the field and he's like, and it's like his lip is all split and he's like gushing blood everywhere. They had to cut the commercial right away because they were like, oh my God. Like it shattered like teeth in his mouth. He was afraid from then on. Like all you had to do to get him was you just had to pitch high and inside and he'd freak out. Sorry. Power rankings.
I'll start. So, my honorable mentions this week. For once, I have the Tigers up here.
oh boy.
Along with the Phillies, Marlins, and Pirates. Number 10, I got the Astros. Number 9, I got the Diamondbacks. Number 8, I have the Rays. Number 7, I have the White Sox. Number 6, funny enough, the other Chicago team, the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
5, I got the Yankees. 4, I got the Red Sox. 3, I have the Brewers. 2, I have the Braves. And number 1, I have the Dodgers.
Wow, I never would have thought you would have had the Dodgers at number 1 after losing 6 straight.
Well, but
I thought you for sure would have taken an opportunity to be like, they're not the best team.
I was telling Morgan this earlier. They've been playing good opponents. Like they got swept by.
Yeah, they played the Red Sox and the Cubs. The two hottest teams in baseball right now. Like, shit, chalk it up to bad luck. Like,
and also, as I told Morgan, who have the Brewers played recently? That's substantially noteworthy, and they haven't swept any one of them. I mean, it's been like Rockies, Angels, Giants. They lost the series to the Giants. By the way, I don't know how you're going to be one of the best teams in baseball and lose a series to the Giants, even if it is on the road. Who cares?
You know who's fun on the Giants? Logan Webb. That guy is not a high velo pitcher, but he is, I would say, the craftiest pitcher in baseball. He's got a very high pitcher's IQ, which makes up for his lack of like ability to use velocity to just overpower guys. Like he is the opposite of Mize this year, of Mizorowski. Anyway, all right, Morgan.
Okay, my rankings are a little bit different than last week, and I did a new element to it. I did it combined. I kind of averaged this out of your current record with your standing in the division, and then what you've been doing the last 40 games. Okay, so I put that in there for like just to see how you doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at this and like, well, this is crazy. And who has the second best record in baseball now after their big slump is the Dodgers. So I'm like, well, okay, the Dodgers are great. I look at their last 40 games, and they're 21-19. I'm like, oh my gosh, like these guys are like they're amazing. They're a great team, but like if you're barely over 500, your last 40 games, I have the Dodgers as my number 5.
Yeah, I understand. I have something to say after, but yeah. Let's do your.
Yeah, I'm just having fun with this. All right.
Mm-hmm. Next one. I love this.
The next one. You got the Atlanta Braves. Okay, they have the best record in baseball right now. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They have the best record in baseball.
The Braves?
Yeah.
No, the Brewers. The Brewers.
It's the Brewers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're close.
In terms of record, it goes Brewers, Braves, Dodgers right now.
Okay, so Braves, they're doing great. I have them at number 4. Their last 40 games, 24-16. So it's a heck of a lot better than the Dodgers in the last 40. They're winning the division, playing great ball. On number 3, I have the Cubs. They're not even winning their division. But of their last 40, 26 and 14, they're hot. I think they might just win their division anyways.
Okay.
My second is the Brewers. They have the same record as the Cubs, 26-14. And number 1, just got done sweeping the Dodgers. They are 32-8. Their last 40. I have the Red Sox.
Yeah, they're crazy, dude. They're so good right now. But again, it's
Now-
that is that are they peaking too early?
Yeah, that's a big I would just say if you're gonna ask me who is the best team right now in baseball,
Mhm.
who do you not want to play? This is the list. This is my list.
The Red Sox. Yeah.
If you saw these 5 teams, you're like, well, shoot, I don't want to play those guys. And now,
I think
Yeah.
it's fair. It's fair to say it's fair to differentiate the question of who do you want to play right now in the regular season versus when playoffs happen, who do you want to play? Because that dramatically changes that list. Like, because here's the thing, the Dodgers are doing what they've done the last 2 years where they get such a lead in their own division that now they're like, listen, we can afford to start dropping games and rest guys. Like, they don't have to, they're not like the Tigers right now.
They just need to make the playoffs, the Dodgers. They don't even have to win their division. It doesn't matter for them. They're so loaded.
They would rather have their team be healthy coming into the playoffs rather than having the best record. Okay. So
I had fun with that list, and it's like the top 5 of the last 40, the Tigers were even up there, and it's like there's no way I was mentioning them, but I kind of did a little bit best of both worlds, at least from what I've seen.
Gotcha. Well, my honorable mentions, because I'm doing a top 10. The Astros, the Marlins, and the Diamondbacks. The Marlins are very streaky this year. They're very win 10 of 12, lose 8 of 10. They're like that kind of team. But anyway, number 10, I have the Philadelphia Phillies. All the talent in the world. They have a great manager with Don Mattingly, but can they get there? I don't know. I'm partial to Don Mattingly because, again, he coached LA for a long time. He was the manager before the Dave Roberts era. So he's the one that got LA to that precipice. Dave Roberts, the one that finally got him over the hump. But number 9, the Chicago White Sox. Great overall team. They're one of the more complete teams in baseball, I would say. And they're going to have the runner-up for Rookie of the Year with Munetaka Murakami. Number 8. Dude, it's kind of hard not to put him in there right now, but the Tigers, it's kind of hard not to put them in the list. Let alone statistically, they're actually kind of a top 8 team because they're elite at everything right now, except for win percentage.
Tony?
Their win percentage is the thing that,
You want to know their last 40?
What's their last 40?
Do you have a guess at all?
No. It's got to be is it 25 and 15?
You're so close. 24 and 16.
Oh my God, I almost said 24 and 16. That would have been crazy. But they're one of the best teams in baseball right now. I fully believe they're on their way to the playoffs. I really do. Because they have an easy schedule left also. Yep. They don't have a super tough schedule left. Number 7, the Yankees. Aaron Judge-less Yankees, not the same as the Yankees with Aaron Judge. And I think we're seeing how important he is to that franchise. And I think if he comes back healthy again next year, I think the way the Yankees turned out after he got hurt is only going to add to the legend of Aaron Judge in the long run. Number 6, I got the Tampa Bay Rays. They're your AL leading champion, but they're not the top AL team right now because it's got to be the Boston Red Sox at 5. I don't think the Red Sox are going to win their division, but they definitely aren't going to miss the playoffs. They're in the playoffs. All right, number 4, a little controversial, Chicago Cubs.
It's good.
They're but the Cubs are very streaky. They're a win 10, lose 8 team. Win 10 in a row, lose 8 kind of team. There's no sort of consistency. Number 3, and this is where it gets controversial because it just got swept by both teams behind them. But I still have the Dodgers at 3. Like, leading their division. Like, we all know they're just resting guys at this point. Like, they'll take the wins when they can get them, but they don't exactly need them yet. Like, number 2 in their division is still, like, after dropping 6 games, the Diamondbacks are still 8 games behind LA. Like, so, number 2, the Atlanta Braves. They've gotten on a hot streak again. You know, it's, can they get their streak to match up with when they get into the playoffs is going to be the real question. But as of right now, number 2 team in baseball. Number 1 team in baseball right now is the Brewers, though. I mean, kind of the same story last year. They're the best team. Do they have it in them in the playoffs? I don't think so, because they choke every year in the playoffs. But as it stands right now, best team in baseball is the Brewers, and they're going to be there probably for a little bit. So the Guardians are dropping fast, though. By the way,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Because they still don't have Jose Ramirez back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When does he return?
I can't wait for the Tigers series with the Twins coming up.
Oh no, J-Ram is back. They're just
not putting it together.
Oh, he's day-to-day because he's aggravating his injury again, playing. Because again, Cleveland's being stupid, and it's like, granted, I would say this is where the money helps the Dodgers. Cleveland can't afford to rest J-Ram. The Dodgers can afford to literally not have Tyler Glasnow or Blake Snell for basically all year and then bring him in August, September, and then be like, great, all right, let's play baseball, guys. You know, I think Jeff Passan, Logan and I have talked very passionately about our love for Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan, if you ever see this, it would be nuts if you did a show on here. You'll never do it, but it'd be crazy. But Jeff Passan, I think he put the money thing in baseball the best way. Money money in baseball allows you to make mistakes more.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to those big swings, the big contracts, the Shohei Ohtani. Again, Juan Soto in the Mets. This is again why the salary cap. I'm going to bring it all the way back to the salary cap. This is why this year is a horrible year to argue it. You have a lot of small market teams like punching up and kicking ass this year, and then you have like the Mets and the Blue Jays that just look like shit. Like, you know, two top 5.
You do still have a lot of big market teams up to the top. Dodgers,
Sure.
Yankees, Red Sox.
Sure. You'd expect them to perform. You'd expect them to perform, but what I'm saying is it doesn't help the argument that big market teams, like, the money is what is winning them championships. That's the argument, because it's not working for the Mets. It is not working for the Blue Jays. Hell, it's not really working for the Phillies. They're a big market team, and like, I don't think anybody has them winning this year.
Nope.
Connor does. Connor loves the Phillies. What are you talking about?
I hate the Phillies. City with the worst fans in all of baseball, by the way. Worst fans in all of baseball. Yeah, hell, even the Cubs are a mid-market team this year. Maybe slightly above average, but nothing crazy. Brewers. Yeah, Brewers are spending like a third of what LA is spending. Yeah, the Padres are an above average team, and they aren't going to make the playoffs probably, right? The Red Sox are a below average spending team, or only slightly above. They're basically the average. Fourth lowest payroll has the best record in the American League with Tampa Bay. The White Sox have the third lowest payroll, second lowest payroll in baseball, and they're handedly going to win that division. That's
I don't know
kind of crazy.
if the Tigers keep playing the way they're playing.
Tigers coming into this season were top 10 in payroll, and it's like they might not make the playoffs. Like, I think they are, but they might not. Like, it's, I don't know, dude. It's kind of crazy. Like,
Yeah.
well, the Angels are paying $180 million. They're paying an average MLB salary to be the worst team in baseball. That's pathetic, dude. That franchise is so pathetic. Like, I feel so bad for
man.
Mike Trout.
All right. Do we want to wrap up with Athlete of the Week here?
Yeah,
Yep.
let's wrap up with Athlete of the Week and end the Anthony Talks Baseball podcast today.
All right. Well,
Jesus
I'll go
Christ.
first, and we're going to continue to talk baseball here for a little bit because my Athlete of the Week is Liam Hicks. I was in this search, I was really looking for players who had just recently gotten traded and were performing well with their new teams. Liam Hicks is probably the one who has performed best out of all the recently traded players. In his debut with the Rays, 2 for 5, which rather average, but had a home run, had 4 RBIs, was probably the biggest piece in getting them the win in that game. So shout out to Liam Hicks. Shout out to his debut with the Rays. I see a good future with that team for him.
What about you, Morg?
Well, I've already mentioned him today, but Player of the Week's Dylan Dingler for the Tigers. He's hit a home run in his last 3 games. He's a nightmare for any pitcher right now. And he's had a hit in his last, 8, I think. It's just, he's a menace.
All right,
Mine
Tony,
is
let's hear Tarek Skubal.
no, it's not Tarek Skubal.
Okay. Who you got?
I was gonna choose the GM for the Dodgers because that would have been hilarious.
Oh,
But
that was beautiful.
I think I'll be even better and say Scott Harris for trading away Tarek Skubal. Just kidding. No, actually, Max Clark, dude. Max Clark. That's awesome. Getting called up when he got called up. Like, didn't
That is-
skip a beat from his performance in AAA. That's awesome. I love that guy. And
Been
like
fun.
one thing I think that definitely helps the Tigers going forward is his friendship with McGonigal. Have you guys do you guys know about that?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
they drafted the same year, came up through the system together.
Mhm.
Like I think I think McGonigal stood up in Max Clark's wedding. Like
Wow.
so yeah, that's awesome. I'm super happy
The
for
thing
that
with
kid.
Clark, he hasn't had a game where he hasn't had a hit.
Yeah. I'll
It's
take
just-
any
it's
player in the
amazing.
MLB that can guarantee me a hit every game.
It's
Yes,
beautiful.
I will take another Tony Gwynn. Like
A
I'll take
hit
another
every
first
game.
ballot Hall of Famer.
His plate presence is crazy too. Like he'll get a walk in outing too at least.
It's how disciplined he is. Him and Kevin McGonigal are very similar in that sense. They're
Yeah.
very disciplined batters, which is wild to see from such a young guys.
It's beautiful.
Because they're rookies, they're not at their peak.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, Max Clark, man, that kid's gonna be awesome. I also love his attitude and his style. Isn't he kind of fun with the chains and the
He's a fun guy.
the I don't give a shit attitude? Like I like that guy. He's gonna be like because McGonigal's the quiet guy. Clark's
Mhm.
gonna be like the yin to McGonigal's yang. Like
Clark
they're
kinda
gonna be a lot of
reminds
fun.
Max Clark kind of reminds me of our Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, but also the Tigers are kind of needing this guy. They kind of need this guy on that
Yeah.
team, that
Mhm.
loud guy. It's a lot of quiet players on that team, so it's
For
good
sure.
having a big personality.
All right. Well, if no one has anyone else to add, I'd say we're good to wrap it up here. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, if you haven't already, of course. And also drop a comment down below. if you would like to add your input to anything that we talked about tonight.
Did I get the salary cap arguments right or wrong? Feel free to argue with me. I will hop on personally and reply to all the comments.
Great idea, Tony. Great idea. I'd love to see it. But yeah, until then, we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.